Shalom family. So this lesson is going to be on the 12 tribe chart. Alright. I've caused a lot of trouble with this. I'll tell you right now. Not everyone is from Israel. Not everyone. This 12 tribe chart with Native Americans and Indians and all the Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Guatemalans and Chicanakans and Sacanakans and freaking Guatemalalans. That's freaking crazy. It's freaking out of this world. And you have to use your brain to realize that that ain't true. Come on now. Come on. Now, so-called Yeshua or Jesus Christ was a black man. And his father, Yahweh, or Yahuwah, like other Israelites say, created us in his image. Then where all these other 1,000 tribes come from? It doesn't make any damn sense, people. It doesn't make no sense. Wicked Negroes, I'm telling you, wicked Negroes. Negroes, our own people are our worst enemy right now. First of all, we're in slavery right now because of our own people. We're in slavery because our ancestors got us enslaved because they were so damn wicked. So we're enslaved. So yeah, our people do us in. And our people also do us in by telling everyone else that they're Israel, but they're not. Now this fad started, man, it's crazy, but it's not too good. But the Most High will set it up at the end, and he'll make sure everyone knows who they are. Alright, now let's get to it. 2nd Esdras 13:40. Because that's the scripture that everyone's going on. 2nd Esdras is the golden scripture. The 2nd Esdras 13 tells everything. That's what everyone says. That's what these people who say that that billion people are Israelites. Let's read it. Let's get it. Alright, we're going to start at 2nd Esdras 13, and then we're going to start at verse 40. Alright, 40. And then we're going to go all the way down to 52. Not 45. Like they like to. Or not 44, like everyone stops at. We're going to go all the way to 50-something. Alright, let's get it. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, who Salmansar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land. So the king of Assyria carried the Israelites over the water into another land. So how did he carry them over the waters? Now, in this instance, you can just say ships. In this instance, you could say, okay, he carried them over the water with ships, because it doesn't go any further into it. So it says that these people carried over the water and carried them over the waters, and so came into a land, into another land. So that means they carried them from Syria into another land, probably Iraq or one of the bordering states or countries around there. It wasn't 10 continents away. It was probably just one continent away, or probably not even a continent, probably a few cities. All right, read. And go forth into another country where the never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. Alright, I want you to understand that. I want you to remember what I just read right here, because I'm going to read it in some other scriptures. Okay? So for you people who's trying to get me, I want you to remember something. I'm going to read it again. For the Most High. No. Let's go back to 43. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. So that means they walked into the Euphrates River by the narrow passages. That means by the little small spots they can walk into. So at that time, the Euphrates River was flowing. It was high. It was flowing at the time. It wasn't like it is now, dried up. Like prophecy says, it's dried up now. So at that time, the Euphrates River was flowing. Alright? Let's go to 44. This is where people don't like to get. This is where people don't like to go. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So, if you think you get ships out of that, you're crazy. If you think you get, let me read it again. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So that means they walked into the Euphrates River to the narrow passages. The river was flowing. It says it here. I'm going to read it again. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So that means when they walked down to the narrow passage of the Euphrates River, the Most High stopped the water. He stopped he held the flood. It says it here. And he held still the flood. So that means the Most High stopped the flood of water. Because you got to remember, this is a river. So, really, it's a flood. A river is a flood. It means water is flowing down. It's a flood. So the Most High held still the flood. He held the water for them to walk through until they were passed over. Alright? Now let's get it. Now, I got some more scriptures. Calm down. Let's read this. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsarid. Now people get that confused. I say Arsarid is America, but it's not. It's actually a place in Iraq. City in Iraq. There you go. Keep going. Then dwelt they there until the later time, and now until they shall begin to come. And remember this, listen to this. The highest, meaning the Most High, shall stay the springs of the streams again. So that means now they got to go through another body of water. You see, this is what they don't talk about. So they just say the so-called Native Americans and Mexicans or whatever jumped on some boats and went all the way down to Brazil, and that's how they got there. But they don't get this far. They don't get this far. They stop. Now let's keep going. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through there. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. So that means they went through another body of water. What body of water did they go through again? Yeah. So when I post this, do some comments and tell me what other body of water that they went through again. Alright? So, let's get back. But those that left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. So that means that there are some Israelites that got left behind. Now the majority of us, meaning me and my family members and other Israelites, all went into captivity. But some stayed behind. Some of them are still there. A remnant of them are still there. They're still there. But most of us Judah, the tribe of Judah, we've been scattered through all the continents. So the so-called Mexicans or Guatemalans, the ones who are Israelites, they're from the tribe of Judah. Not Issachar, and they're not all these freaking tribes. All those other 10 tribes, they're over there. Now there could be some over here scattered. I can't say that ain't true. But I'm just going off the scriptures here. I'm not going off for my words. I'm going off what the scripture says. So let's get some more to the scriptures then. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he destroyed the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he should defend his people that remained. That means that in that area over there in Jerusalem, the Israelites that remain over there, the ones who wasn't scattered, like me and all the other so-called Negroes around here, the ones that are still left over there, the Most High says He's going to protect them. Now, us, we over here, we in trouble, because we scattered. We scattered. He says He's going to protect them. Alright. Let's get the scripture now. We're going to start at we'll go to 2 Kings. 2 Kings 2, 6 through 9. 2 Kings. How about that? We get that. 2 Kings. Alright, so this story is of Elijah. Everyone should know about this story. So this story is, if you haven't read Kings, you need to read it. So I'm just going to get into the scripture proving my point. Alright, we're going to start at 2 Kings 8, or 2:8. Ready? Let's go. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. So my point is that Elijah just smote the waters. Smote the waters means he held the waters back. Okay? Now I'm getting to some more scriptures where it goes directly into 2 Esdras, because 2 Esdras says passed over. Alright? So I got the Apocrypha open right here. I got this book open. Got it open. And now I got this Bible wide open. So we're going to go straight back to back and get the precepts to it, so there ain't no disruptions. Alright? So you just seen that Elijah took his mantle. That means his garment that he had. He had a garment with fringes on it, and he smoked the waters like this. He took it and flung it, and the waters parted, and he walked through. That's what happened. Alright? And now I'm going to jump down to 13. I'll read the whole thing, but it's too long. I don't feel like it. So we're going to go down to 13. And he took up also a mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him and smote the waters. So once again, he smote the waters. That means he did something to the water. This tells you what he did to the water right here. And said, where's the Lord of God of Elijah? And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elijah went over. Alright? So what's happening is Elijah smote the waters, or smitten the waters with his garment, and the waters went through. The flood, the river opened up, and he was able to walk right through. Okay, that's one instance. Okay, so that still doesn't say passed over though, but I'm just giving you an example of how in those days how they used to go through the waters. The Jordan River, the Jordan, the Euphrates, and the Red Sea. That was like a freeway to the Israelites. That was the Israelites' freeway. The Most High used to let them go straight through it with straight miracles. We don't see none of that stuff now. Alright, let's get the next scripture. Now we're going to go to Exodus. Exodus 14, 21 through 29. Alright, Exodus. Alright, let's get this. Exodus 14, starting at, what's that? 21. And Moses stretched out, well, first of all, the story in Exodus is about the Israelites being held captive in Egypt, and Pharaoh the king not wanting to let us go. So Moses was working for the Most High and helped us out of it, and he saved us. He was the vessel for the Most High to get us out of our captivity that we were in, because Pharaoh wouldn't let us go, even though he turned his river red, but then killed his son, and the Most High did a lot of bad stuff to him. And then finally he was like, all right, man, I'll let you go. And even that right there, this book right here, if you guys never heard this book, it's called the Testament of Solomon. It tells you about, wicked demons and stuff like that. And the demons in that book that actually made Pharaoh fight against the Most High that day, even, that was even a demon, because he let him go. But it shows you how wicked times that we're in. So let's get it. Chapter 14, verse 29. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind, and all that night, and made the sea dry. Land and the waters were divided. So that means that the land and the waters were divided. Now, for that scripture, you can still come with your own imagination. So let's keep going. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them, unto the right and unto the left hand. So that means the children of Israel walked through the Red Sea, and the water was a wall on the left side and a wall on the right side. So that means they were walking through the waters. Alright, let's get it. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all the Pharaoh's horses and chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watched the Lord looked into the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire, the cloud, and trouble. So pretty much what happened, the Egyptians were chasing after the Israelites after Pharaoh had let them go, because his son got killed, and he had to realize that these are God's people. So he was like, okay, let them go. And then he let them go, and then all of a sudden something got into him. And I know what got into him because it's in this book right here, the Testament of Solomon. It's in that book. And something got into him, and he was like, F that. I'm about to go kill all the Israelites. Even though I let them go, and Most High killed my son, and did all this wicked things to me, and turned my rivers to blood, I'm still going to go out and fight and try to kill him. So this is what happened after that. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. And the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea, and the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. That means all of the Egyptians died. That means not one of them. Now this is not my words, this is God's words. Now the Bible could have been tricked out, but I have another Bible that says the same thing. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land into the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left hand. So that means the children of Israel walked onto dry land with a wall of water over here and a wall of water over there. That's what happened. Alright? Don't Don't lose focus off of 2nd Esdras. I ain't forgot about that yet. We still here. 2nd Esdras. Right here. In Apocrypha. 2nd Esdras 13. And we're going to go 40 through 43. And then enter into the Euphrates River. All that good stuff. Alright? Now, we're going to go Isaiah 11. Isaiah 11. That's where we're going to go. Alright. Isaiah 9:11. Alright, let's do it. Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass that in that day the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people which shall be left from Assyria. Now, from Assyria. Now, in the Apocrypha it says that Osea the king, who Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and also came to them another land. So the king of Assyria had captives that he led away. But then also the Most High says that he's going to come back for the remnant of them. So there were some that were left behind, not all of them. So not all the Israelites left out of Assyria or out of that region. There's a lot of them are still there. Alright? So let's get that. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So all those lands are African continents over there in Iraq, and Jerusalem, and Syria, and Egypt. Those are all those continents. So the Most High is saying that that's where those tribes are at. So people are saying that those 10 tribes came down south to Brazil, but really they're actually still up there. Alright? Now let's keep going, because I haven't got over to Passover yet. So let's keep going. And he shall set up an sign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So the Most High is saying that the dispersed of Judah, the tribe of Judah, is dispersed in the four corners of the earth. Judah. Not Issachar, not all the other Benjamin is actually with Judah, so yeah, probably Benjamin too. But all the other ones, like Issachar and Ephraim and all them, they're not spread all throughout the world. The only ones who are spread throughout the world mainly is the tribe of Judah. It says it here in the scripture, so let me read it again. And he shall set up an sign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. He's going to assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So he's saying that he's going to gather the dispersed of the tribe of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So technically, all the so-called Mexicans and Guatemalans and the ones who say they're the tribe of Judah, or to say that they're Israelites, they're actually the tribe of Judah. They're not Issachar, they're not Ephraim, they're not none of that. They're actually the tribe of Judah. It says it here in the scripture. Once again, that's Isaiah 11 through 12. You know what? Let's get 13. Let's read 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Shows you the wickedness of the tribes in those days. So let's get to Joshua. Let's go to Joshua now. This is where it gets hot. This is where people have to get mad at me. Joshua 3:31. There it is. Alright, here we go. Now, once again, we're in 2nd Esdras 13. We're going to go 12 tribe chart that people keep talking about, because when I talk about the 12 tribe chart, when I talk to a Latino, only thing they can say to me is 2nd Esdras. They say they don't give a damn. They say 2nd Esdras in the world. 2nd Esdras to the casket drop, homie. 2nd Esdras 13:40 through, I think they only read through 43 or 42. That's all they go. They don't go through like 50. So let's get it. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came them into another land. So that means the king of Assyria carried those people over another water into another land from Assyria. Alright? So probably the next bordering land. Alright? Probably the next bordering land. But they took this counsel among themselves, and they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into further country where never mankind dwelt. Okay? That makes sense. They're going to go somewhere where no man ever dwelt before. Alright. Now this is where it gets technical. This is where the misunderstanding happens. And they entered into the Euphrates River. Or no, they say river. Said, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. So, how they enter into the Euphrates River? You walk, or did you fly? So let's just say that they walked into the Euphrates River. They walked into it, because they don't say they flew in it. It didn't say they made a boat and drove a boat through it. It says that they entered into the Euphrates River. So we're going to have to say that they walked into it. I mean, God is not the author of confusion. So here it's saying, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. So we're going to have to assume that they walked into the river. Alright? Does anyone agree with that? Okay. Continue. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So that means a river is flooding. A river is pretty much a flood. The water is flooding down. So that means they entered into the narrow passages of the Euphrates. They walked in. It didn't say boat. It didn't say ship. It didn't say freaking of wings. It didn't say freaking helicopter. It didn't say freaking parachute. It said they entered into the Euphrates River. So if someone enters, that means they're walking. If it doesn't specify any type of vessel, it means they walked. Okay? Can we all agree on that? Okay, continue. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So the Most High held down the flood. He held the water until they walked through. So now we're going to get back to passed over. So let's get the next scripture now. Joshua 4:11. And it came to pass, when all the people were clean, passed over, the ark of the Lord passed over, and the priests in the presence of the people. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and half of the tribe of Manasseh passed over armed before the children of Israel. And Moses spake unto them, about 40,000 prepared for war, passed over before the Lord unto battle to the plain of Jericho. So passed over means walk over something. It means they walking over to another body of land. Walking. Not taking a boat, not taking a ship, not taking a parachute, not taking a bomb. It means they walked over to another body of land. Alright, let's go to 20. And those 12 stones which they took out of Jordan did Joshua pitch into Gilgal. Alright? So, go to 23. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you until ye were passed over. Let's read this again. This is Isaiah 4:23. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of Jordan from before you until ye were passed over, as the Lord your God did to the Red Sea, which he dried up from before us until we were gone over. So the Most High is telling you that passed over means walked over a body of water, or walked through the body of water. It doesn't mean you got on ships and drove all the way to Brazil. That's not what that means. Passed over means you went over to a body, you went through a body of water. So if the king of Assyria carried the Israelites over a body of water, and then they had to come back from there, that means the body of water was the Euphrates, which is true. They walked through the Euphrates, and then they had to get to that land, which was 1.5 years to go, right? Okay, let's get that. For through that country, for the Most High did shoot signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. That means he held the flood from the Euphrates River. He helped them get through the Euphrates River. He held the flood and let them get through the Euphrates River. They walked over the Euphrates River. They walked through it. And over there is where? Iraq, right? For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years, and the same region is called Arsareth. So that means through Iraq, they had to walk all the way through Iraq to the next river, which is what? The Red Sea, right? They had to walk through that whole time. And yeah, that looks like about 1.5 years. That looks like it'll take you 1.5 years to walk through that. Read. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. So now, another body of water that they have to go through, that the Most High is going to hold back for them to walk through again. It says it here in the scriptures. So when people read 2nd Esdras and think it's a gold mine for every freaking for all the Latinos under the sun to be Israelites, you're wrong. Because I just gave you the scriptures right now, and I didn't even get into all of them. I just gave you those. So let's get into the other ones then. Let me see. Carried over. Oh, what was Baruch? Get this here. So, as you see that the scriptures are real, and you can't really get through them. People try to fake their way through the scriptures all the time. I seen them do it all the time. They pull up 2nd Esdras and that's it. They pull up 2nd Esdras, that's it right there. That ain't it. There's a lot of precepts to 2nd Esdras 13 and 40 through 45. There's a lot of precepts. There's about 15 precepts to that script, to those scriptures, and you won't touch none of them. Isaiah 29:24. They also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. That means all the people who are off right now. Now, I'm probably off right now too. There's probably some things I'm off too, because I'm not perfect. So all the people who are off right now, in the end, if you're not wicked, the Most High is going to set you straight. He's going to set us straight and be like, listen, y'all shut up. This is the way it's really supposed to be. And we go like, Oh, there we go. All right, brother. All right, man. Man, there it is. I knew I was off for something like that. That's what's gonna happen in the end. All right. Now go write it before them in a table and a note in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. That is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, will say to the sea, not, and to the prophets, prophesy unto the right, unto the things, speak unto the smooth things, prophesy deceits. Get you out of the way, turn aside of you. The great of the path calls the Holy One of Israel to cease thee from before us. So that means wicked people are against us, trying not to let us know the truth, basically. But I want to get one more scripture that's talking about Passover. We're going to go... Alright, did. Alright. Let's go. I think I already did Isaiah. I think I already did this one. Let's go to Isaiah 3. The waters which came down from a stood arose upon a heap very far from the city of Adam, that is beside Zeradan, and those that came down toward the sea of the plain, even the salt sea, fell and were cut off, and the people were passed over right against the Jericho. That means the people were passed over. That means they walked over the Jericho River. Alright? Alright, let's get it again. And all the Israelites passed over on the dry ground until all the people were passed clean over the Jordan. So passed over means what? What does passed over mean? Let's get it again. And Joshua said unto them, pass over before the ark of the Lord God into the midst of Jordan. Passed over. Once again, the Israelites are being passed over. That means a body of water was held back for them to pass over. It doesn't say get on ships and sail all the way to Brazil and Argentina. It don't say that. Passed over means walk through a body of water. Why can't you guys get this? Again, 7. Then ye shall answer them, then the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, when it passed over Jordan. The waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. So you can see, passed over does not mean getting on ships and sailing to Brazil. It means the Most High, our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our God, our Father, held back the waters for our ancestors, and we passed over and we walked through. That's what that means. It doesn't mean we hopped on some freaking ships and freaking sailed to Brazil. Okay? Now I just gave you all the scriptures. You should be able to figure it out on your own now and realize that this 12 tribe chart is freaking garbage. Real Israelites know that it's garbage. If you believe in just camps, you're done. That means you're wicked. It means you're wicked. You're just like a Jehovah's Witness. Because you believe a doctrine of a camp. You didn't come up with that doctrine on your own. Somebody gave you that doctrine. Somebody gave that to you. Somebody told you the 12 tribe chart and you believed it. So you know what that means? That means you're wicked. That means you're one of them wicked Israelites that the Most High speaks of, who follows false gods and false religions because you believed in some freaking wicked chart that some other wicked Israelite gave you. And didn't even research it yourself. You didn't even research it for your own damn self. Instead, you just believed it. What that sound like? Sound like them Christians, huh? Sound like them Catholics. Sounds like them Jehovah's Witnesses. So don't be fooled. Don't believe the 12 tribe chart if you haven't researched it, bro. Brothers and sisters. You're not. If they tell you you're Issachar, you ain't Issachar. They told you that you was an African American, and you're not that, right? So what makes you believe in these camps? Oh, you Issachar. Now the only thing they got right is Judah. Judah is you have to get that right, because Judah is the main tribe. And I'm from the tribe of Judah, so that's easy. But the other tribes, that's hard. That's hard to figure that out. Well, it's not hard for a smart person. It's hard for a dummy who just believes in freaking wicked ass Negroes. Tells them that, oh, you from Issachar? Look at this chart. Look at this chart right here. What are you? You Guatemalan? Oh, you from this tribe? What are you? Oh, sister, you don't even know. You from the tribe of Issachar? Oh, sister. Oh, what are you? Oh, I'm Puerto Rican. Oh, for real? Oh, you from the tribe over here. You my sister. But yet, all those continents are straight ran by Edomites. And all those people hate the so-called Negro. They hate us with a passion. And just wicked Negroes just be like, oh, they're Israelites. Let them in. Come on in, brothers. Come on in. Something, ain't it? Yeah. So I'm going to leave this lesson at that one. And I'll get back to you guys next day. But leave comments. Leave comments. I don't mean to offend nobody. I'm not trying to offend nobody. Because, certain Israelites are on different stages. Because I barely even got on this stage, maybe about a year ago. I was on a different stage 2 years ago. I wasn't even on this level. So, I'm going to say all praises to the Most High. Shalom. And, I love all my Israelite brothers and sisters. And even the Gentiles want to cling on to us. You guys are okay too. Just as long as you accept who we are. If you don't accept who we are, then I'm not going to deal with you. Alright? All praise to the Most High. Shalom, family.